The story that I like to bring lately to the stage is a story about a time when two of my friends and we went on a Red Bull fueled journey across Europe. It is exactly what it sounds like. Believe it or not, we were asked by Red Bull to apply to this global competition, to go from London to Berlin in 7 days. No food, no transportation prearranged, no accommodation, no money, no credit cards, no cell phones, no nothing. At the start line, they would give us 24 Red Bull. They'd give us a map of addresses across, get this, the continent, and our job was to trade these Red Bull across a continent we'd never been to before in order to be a part of and win this challenge. Things got interesting right after the gun went off because, first of all, we didn't even know which way France was. Okay, so it was immediately destined for failure for us. The other thing was we realized that we made this decision on a one-pager. This one-pager looked a lot like a job description. You know, do you have these skills, experiences, requirements? Here are the perks and the benefits. It's going to be the ride of a lifetime. We often hear this for companies too. We've got nap pods, bean bags, kegs at the end of the lunchroom, and it's going to be the best. Even Google now has a tenure of 1.1 years. And what we found is that this description of this journey didn't really talk about what was going to happen between the start and the finish line. The job description doesn't really talk about the experience that you'll have at work either. We found that there's some real alignment there. And so as our journey continued, our team started to just erode and degrade because, well, we were a team and nothing more than that. What we found is that a team is a group of people that are aligned in their skill set and they're aligned in their goal. And that's what we were. We were aligned in our skill set and we all really wanted to get to Berlin. But every time we tried to make a trade for food or accommodation or transportation, we'd kind of climb over each other, step on each other's toes. We wouldn't give each other that time and space. Nobody could take that risk. After studying all of these companies and looking at thousands of surveys and hosting dozens of focus groups working with companies across Canada, the States, and England, we found that this is what psychological safety really is. This is what a sense of belonging, camaraderie, and fellowship really is, and that's what our team was missing. Wow. And having studied now, like I said, dozens of organizations, conducted probably 10,000 surveys, what we found is that those companies who are building a sense of community get to where they want to go faster together. That's it. And that's what I like to call this 1 degree shift. If we can shift from just building teams where we align on a hopeful 250-word job description, on logo and brand equity that we think to be true, we never actually built this sense of community. And so what I like to suggest for the people that I'm talking to is that we need to make 3 shifts. Number 1 is that we need to shift from talking about from what we're attracting to who we're attracting. So we can't just talk about the positions in the job that we're filling anymore. We have to talk about our alignment. We have to talk about the life that we get to live as a result of the job and how we get to show up together. Because look, a universal best culture doesn't work. We can't just talk about the skills and the requirements anymore because what happens? We get 250 people applying, of which maybe 4 of them were ever a good fit in the first place. We end up hiring one of them only to find out they were never a good fit, and then you quit as a result because, hey, you can't work with them. Now the whole team is out because you lost an A player, you hired a C one, they're going to leave 6 months later because socially it's not acceptable to quit after 3 weeks, and then the team's out. I think the second thing that I want companies or organizations or associations to know is that if we can truly plant our flag, then I think we can understand better who it is we're trying to attract. I'll unpack that a little bit. 195 countries in the world, each of them have a flag that is identifiable, that is rooted in values, intention, confidence, and truly actually just marks a stake in the ground too. Underneath those countries are a series of provinces, states, territories, counties. Underneath those 4 are a series of universities, community groups, churches, etc. But when we see a flag that we recognize, we know that it's got equity behind it, that it's got an experience behind it, a value set behind it, that it's done with intention. And I think the companies that are doing it well, where they're actually identifying these unique traits and characteristics, where they're truly planting their flag in the ground, are managing to hire and keep great people. And this happened literally. My girlfriend and I went to a wedding this summer. When we walked in the ballroom, everyone actually got a paintbrush. And there was a beautiful canvas, a paint by numbers of the bride and the groom there. And they got all of us to be a part of the painting that was done by the end of the night. Now that painting hangs in their living room and is the best gift they've ever got from 250 people at the wedding. See, here's the thing. When we give everyone a paintbrush and we allow everyone to be a part of the conversation, we create this psychologically safe environment where we can take risks and try something new, great things happen.